Hi, welcome to Grow New Plants. So today I'm doing an update on the Forsythia. So I planted these last fall, I'm sorry, and I've got a lot of grass that came up in these things. I threw some grass seed out around this area and some of the seed blew into my plants, so I got grass coming up in them. Anyway, so I planted these and they all rooted. I say all of them, the majority of them rooted and were leafing out last fall, and then through the winter, of course, we got another couple days, 2 or 3, 4 days in the low teens. And I put these in the greenhouse, but the greenhouse is not heated and ended up losing 2/3 of them. But this one right here, and this is the Spectabillus, I believe is how you say it, variety. And almost all of these survived. I haven't pulled them all out, but I think probably like 9 out of the 12 I planted of these survived. So I'm gonna get them potted up. But the good thing about this is that Forsythia is not really a super native plant for the area where I'm at. I'm around Dallas, Texas. It's not a super native plant here. It's not a real common plant here. But the fact that these survived that winter and the harshness that they went through in these little bitty pots, if they'd all been up potted into bigger pots, the other ones may have survived. But being that these did survive, when the other ones didn't, I figured this is a good variety for my area. So I'm really kind of excited about them. So I'm gonna move in and we're gonna get these up potted and see what the roots look like on them. And I'll get them up potted into 1 gallon root makers. Okay, so I'm gonna start pulling these things out of here. And this one right here did not make it. And if I remember correctly from the video, I had several of these that had no nodes on them other than the top node. I think that was one of them, and then that was one of them, and that was one of them. The only nodes they had were these top nodes, so they really didn't do anything. This one may have been one of those too. I don't know. I'll pull it out and look and see where it rooted from. So let me get some soil going here first. Okay, so let's pull this one out and see what it looks like. Trying to be careful. I have no idea what the roots look like on these. I actually rooted down through the bottoms of the pot. So that's actually a really good root system. So that ought to do just great. That looks nice. So we'll get these planted back in here. I'll plant them right back at the same depth they were in before. When I talked in that last video about do these things need to be could I have cut the cuttings in half? Some of the ones that had more nodes, and the answer to that is probably yes. So, and I got my pruners, so the excess right here, I'm gonna go ahead and prune that off. No point in that staying there. Okay, so that ought to do good. So there's one of them. I was actually pretty excited about that. I didn't even think to look at the bottom of the roots. Oh yeah, see if I can show this on the camera without spilling these out. These things are rooted all the way through the bottoms of these, so they got excellent root systems. So here's another one. Oh yeah, these ought to take right off. So I'm gonna take that one. Those rooted out right straight from the bottom. So probably what I'm gonna do on that one is, hang on one second. Probably what I'm going to do on this one is plant it. I think it'll be fine. I'll just plant it the way it is. I thought about taking it and letting this one be a leader, but these things come out as bushes anyway, so probably what I'll do is I'll let these things get established in here, and once they start putting out new growth, I'll probably take some more cuttings off of them, and that way it'll trim them back, and then they'll start branching out and making, because this is a bush, pretty much a bush form, so I'll take them and start pruning them back to get them a little bit of a bush form where they'll start spreading out. So I'm curious too, I just lost my fork. Okay, somehow or another I lost my fork. Oh, there it is. After all that trouble, I'd already stuck it into the next pot. I went in and got another fork. So this is, I'm really tickled with this. These things got super nice root systems. These ought to really take off. I've kind of been holding on to these because I really wasn't sure what they were going to look like, but I'm pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to get all these potted up, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll fast forward. I didn't get that one very much in the middle of the pot, but that's okay. I'm going to fast forward through the rest of these just to keep this a little shorter. And I'm just going through there and pruning off all these, as much of that dead wood as I can off of these things. So it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So maybe I got 8 of them. So anyway, I'll fast forward through planting the rest of these up, and then we'll take a look at them and talk about them for a minute. Okay, so I got them all planted up. So I ended up with 8 of them. I was pleasantly surprised. I did not expect the roots to look that good on them. I figured they were going to be decent, but they were actually very excellent. So I'm going to let these grow up for a little while. I'll let them, once I can tell they're adjusted to being in these new pots and maybe starting to root out in these pots, I'll come back. Probably what I'll do, I'll let them grow out a little bit, let them grow out another 4 inches or so, and I'll go ahead and take another set of cuttings off of them. I'm kind of excited about these. Now, these are the ones that in the springtime, they say it's one of the first plants to bloom. That's how you know it's spring. That's what they always say about these things. So in the springtime, they'll just cover up with yellow flowers. And these actually did put the little yellow flowers out early in the spring. Not a ton of them, but they did put some out. So I'm kind of excited about them. They're a neat plant. Not a real common plant for my area, but you never know. Maybe I can talk people into them and get a few of them growing around here. At least I know they survived the winter here. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.